right, welcome to episode 13 of the Dragon's Tome. I am this week's host, Chopper, and with me today are my two greatest friends of the whole wide world.
Single tier.
Jack and Rob. Swave, folks. Hello.
My arm kind of look like I was there. God,
So, I hope everyone who has taken the time to watch this video has had a great Christmas and a New Year, as we are we past that yet?
Yes.
Okay, we are past that.
It is 2022.
By about a week.
So we are now in April of 1978.
Yes.
On the Dragon magazine. We got our cover art that we always talk about in the beginning here. I will say that we are now stepping up. Yeah?
Yeah, for sure. It's like all of a sudden the art like stepped up huge over the last, this issue I think starts the Renaissance. This is by Tom Canty.
Did you label it not Conan, or was that your own?
It's always my labels, and it's not Conan. Never say that's Conan.
This is the Kevin Sorbo version of Conan, whatever that movie was.
Is that an actual? No, it was Hercules. He was. Oh no, he was. Was he Conan too? He was Hercules.
No, but he was in a Conan knockoff, like Skrull or Krull.
No, Kull.
Kull the Conqueror. That's right.
Yeah, Kull was made by the same guy as Conan.
Oh, really?
Yes. It takes place a lot earlier than Conan.
Jason Momoa was Conan.
Yeah, and the new one, so I never saw
and the remake. Yeah. So still $1.50.
$1.50.
$1.50. And we're still looking good. Still the old school dragon logo, of course.
Yeah.
Which should never be in white.
No, it doesn't look good in white. So we won't say why. All right, so let's move on into inside this episode. I feel like this episode was all right. I didn't have a lot of things I didn't really like. So why don't you? Oh wait, we always start with Rob because it's Dragon Rumbles.
That's right. Don't mess with the formula. Dragon Rumbles, page 3. They even got a little color headline now. It's all fancy. It's dragons shooting at each other. This is the first monthly Dragon magazine, so they're touting that. Gen Con is moving to U of W Parkside. Is that where you first went?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's coming up to where you were first one there. And TSR is also moving to a bigger building. So TSR is expanding at this point too. So obviously D&D and all its other games are doing well. And yeah. Oh, it's also the first color ad for themselves. So it's for the Green Magician by Fletcher Pratt and L. Sprague de Camp is coming soon. So it's for color ads coming to Dragon magazine. Of course, it's for their own thing, but still, it's a step forward. You can see the progression from just a zine to a real magazine happening in these issues. And yeah, that's about it for Dragon Rumbles. So yeah. Anything else?
Jack, what do you got going on?
Oh, okay. Bye-bye, Dragon Rumbles. We're done with you.
Yes.
If we scamper on down a couple pages, down to page 9, we have a little something that I like to call, well, I didn't call it, a D&D option, Demon Generation.
John Pickin named it, not you.
John Pickens did. I think that's T-Bone, his brother.
T-Bone.
Pickens.
Yeah.
Slim Pickens is dead.
Is it? I didn't know that. I should have seen the family resemblance.
Is that a picture of him right there on the screen?
That's my good friend Orcus.
Basically, everyone loves a good random generation table.
Oh,
you can't find anyone.
Loves a good demon.
And everyone does love a good demon. So you know what? It's just a quick way to make random demons so that you could have a plethora of a whole, like a menagerie of demons. The highlight, however, is, as far as I'm concerned, the stroke of genius was down at the bottom here, it says, in order to determine exactly what the demon looks like, roll 2 dice on the dungeon encounter table of the appropriate level, and then mix the results and come up with a hideous appearance. And I thought, oh my God, that would be wild. So you could have like a boar's head and a frog's body and, bat wings. Like you could go to town and it'd be, and these charts are made for it. So what it's for is it'd just be a quick, snappy way you could make some real hideous beasts real quick. So that's why I decided to highlight Demon Generation.
Yeah, I enjoyed this article, but I figured one of you guys would grab it, so I kind of steered away from it for a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
He tries to guess what we're gonna do.
I do, because as you remember, I stole the Lovecraftian last episode, and there were daggers came through the monitor, and if it wasn't for my ninja-like reflexes, I might have been pierced.
Well,
how dare you?
Thank you.
I'm still
thank you.
That one.
Thank you for leaving me Orcus and holding his turgid rod.
Turgid.
Looks like he's gonna beat that frog demon in front of him with it.
Anyways. Oh, it looks like he has already.
Yeah. Huh. All right, so for me, my next article that caught my attention was the Bionic Supplement. This is a supplement for Metamorphosis Alpha, which we kind of already determined is the precursor to Gamma World. And thought that was a nice little chart to replace limbs and body parts with Bionic, seeing as this is April 1978 and the $6 Million Man was at its height with the lifting the engine block. Steve's,
I like how you started doing that noise.
And so it kind of brought about all kinds of nice childhood feelings of watching the $6 Million Man, looking through his little peephole eye, and seeing that they were thinking about bionic supplements that could possibly show up in the sci-fi games that are coming out from them soon, and existing Metamorphosis Alpha. It's a pretty simple chart, and it doesn't do much, but I think it was a nice little variant is what they put it on in the article.
And I like the fact that it references the height of technology at the time, the transistor. It does think that Bionics would be
transistor as well, of course.
Yeah.
Right? So, all right, let's go back around then, Rob. What did you get for your second one?
Let's go back right up to page number 5. It's how heavy is my giant? And someone actually mathematically figured out how much a giant will weigh for some reason.
I know. I started reading
not
this.
just how much he weigh, like how much his size is, his chest size. Like you wanted to be a tailor for this guy. And it's like one thing to be like, hey, the giant might be this size, but they literally mathematically figured out how to make giants.
Pages
crazy.
And pages of it.
And crazy formula too. Like the formula is nuts.
Yeah, once I got to that formula, I was like, all right, peace out, I'm done. This is too much math.
Me too. If this was a physical magazine, I would have just rolled it up and hocked it in the trash.
Well, I did get the giant footsteps because they're like, well, this is giant. His foot would sink in like 6 feet down. I'm like, does that make sense? Elephants' feet don't sink down like crazy amounts. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's odd. But yeah, so there you go. Some mathematicians.
Do elephants weigh 1,000? Elephants weigh 1,000 tons?
Well,
they're heavy.
No, the biggest giant here is 30 feet tall. He's 23,000 pounds. Oh, almost 24,000 pounds. I don't know how much a elephant weighs, but that's the biggest thing I can think of.
Well,
what is
they
the biggest
do have
animal. Anybody know? Would be an elephant? I guess so, right?
The elephant? No, the biggest. Oh wait.
Yes.
It's either the giraffe. Well, no, the giraffe I think has the biggest heart.
Aww.
Except for that one time where we dragged that blue whale onto shore. For that brief moment, the blue whale was the biggest land mammal, but no, the elephant is the largest.
Yeah, so I don't know how much they weigh. Answer below. Please tell us how much an elephant weighs.
Yeah.
But, So it's one of those things where I don't think you can just take the size of a man and scale him up. I don't think the internals of a giant would be the same as internals of a human.
Yeah, then you're not taking into account for the weight of muscle density and all those other things that cause you to weigh more.
Yeah, or less. Like maybe they got, hollow bones. I don't know. Because there is a limit for sizes. Because that's why even dinosaurs only got to a certain size, is because there's a limit to how much blood can flow and things like that. So I'm not sure a 30-foot human could even survive. So,
well,
this is why it's fantasy fiction.
Yeah, but it does. The article does also start in on non-human giants too. So you could have a giant iron golem and giant granite golems and stuff like that. Well, the best thing about
that is they actually they have like formula to determine what their material is and how much it weighs per pound or per square foot, and like they actually determine whatever it's made out of how much it weighs too. So that's crazy. So if you had a titanium giant, you'd be pretty heavy.
Well, is tungsten on the list? Because that would be... Yep.
Tungsten's one of the heaviest. Platinum is the heaviest, it looks like.
I don't see tungsten.
It's right below
titanium. There it is. You're right. I see it now.
There it is. Yeah.
I don't know why I chose titanium. Titanium is notoriously light, so I don't know why you chose that, but whatever. Yeah. So that was mine. Who's next?
It would be Mr. Fike.
It would be me. And let's all just take a moment to gird your loins, be prepared, brace yourselves. We're going to the last episode. I was looking forward to the creature feature, the contest. So we're going to go down to page 30, and we're all going to go look and see who won the contest and see what it was.
Was that on page 30?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, top left-hand corner, winners of the contest. And due to last-minute space limitations, so I hope it wasn't that goddamn formula that takes up half a page. All they had time was to give us the three winners and the prizes that they got. So for now, all we can say is congratulations, and next week we can all look forward to the conclusion of what was something I was looking forward to.
Well, it's congratulations to Conrad Froelich from Wyoming, Ohio.
That's his
Wyoming, Ohio.
Yeah. And the name of the creature that won it was what? The Jarnkung?
Looks like the Jarnkung.
And then it's Cursed Crimson.
That's first drawn up.
Crimson Crawler by Thomas and Edward McLeod. And Anne Codlin did the Ulick. Isn't the Ulick a thing? I that name seems familiar to me, but maybe it's from something else. Maybe she stole it.
I don't know.
Maybe she's...
If only we had the
pictures,
the episode,
and stats and everything.
everything here, so I could say, "And that's some clever. It's very clever. It's no Jarnkung, but okay." And also Thomas, Edward, the McLeod brothers. Come on, dial it down a bit. The Cursed Crimson Crawler.
They like alliteration. What can you say?
It sounds like a wrestler.
I like alliteration, but yeah, come on. You're at 11. We need you down around a 7.
They're from Connecticut, so.
Those new nor'easters.
Hayward, more like haywire.
Nah.
All right. I guess it goes back to me. This is it's been a while since we've not crisscrossed articles.
Haven't we?
It's been a while. Someone always gets mad.
Have you chosen another article?
I did. We'll find out here if this happens now. So for my second one, I chose Token in Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh.
What page is that on?
It is on page... It's the same as Bionic Supplement. It's on page 8.
Way back up to 8.
It was a nice little concise point on how D&D isn't Middle Earth, and how back then a lot of the Middle Earthers were trying to make D&D Middle Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert Kuntz here was said in a nice concept manner that it's isn't Middle Earth but takes root from, because he himself was a Middle Earth big fan. He believes in elves and dwarves should be part of D&D, should be, or anything that doesn't have an elf or dwarf isn't fantasy fiction. But he just didn't think that the things that work in Dungeons & Dragons would work in Tolkien, because there wasn't an article we talked about where in a couple episodes, with the magic spells and Gandalf, he said the same thing here, where these things just wouldn't kind of take off in the same. But he goes to reiterate that D&D is its own kind of separate world, but can be used in Tolkien. You just kind of have to adapt it if you really want to make it Middle Earth.
Yeah. He says also the Tolkien stuff is finite. Like, there's an end to the story, where D&D, if there's an end to the story, it kind of ends the game, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
you gotta keep it
going.
Finite,
it ends with just humans.
Yeah, that's right. At the end of Lord of the Rings, they all leave, so...
Yeah, and then the Adventure of the Hobbits disappear.
I think he also like clap back at him for saying, "Oh, you should be only play a dwarf or an elf." It's like even in Tolkien, most of the people are humans. Just have to follow the dwarves, elves, and hobbits. So,
well, they're also the smallest amount of people out there.
Yeah, so like they must get like hundreds of letters going saying this, because they seem to bring it up a lot. Where it's just like, okay, we get it. It's not Tolkien. So
he finishes off the article with a little quote, Gary Gygax, which kind of summed up means basically that D&D is really just an imagination and not just rules to be followed like war gamers. And if you can't get that, then you'll never like D&D.
Yep.
So it was nice. I thought it was a nice little article. Kind of sums up back. Even for today, there's always still that Tolkien fan who always tries to D&D up, and it just doesn't work out all that well. So,
but now that you have, you can play the Tolkien RPG. GW makes that, don't they? Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah. So, nice little article about our friend Robert Kuntz,
who is a writer for D&D. Doesn't he write? Yep. He's the one we figured out wrote Deeds and Demigods, right?
Yeah, co-wrote.
Yeah. For my next one, right back to where Jack was. I was hoping you'd just throw it to me because it would have been a lot easier. Notes from a semi-successful D&D player, James Ward.
Almost did that one too.
He goes through all the things, just slight tips and tricks and stuff that he just goes through a bunch of them for playing D&D. But the funny thing is, it's like most stuff is like, yeah, obviously, but this now, like 40 years later, obviously, but at the time it was all these things that it was brand new ideas. Like some of the things like casting permanent light on a rod, so you have a
permanent torch.
Yeah, like there's things that everybody does, right? And it's just kind of funny. It's funny that we just take things for granted that people had to invent back then. We just now it's in the zeitgeist. Everybody knows, especially with the internet. All the tips and tricks are out there. But I just wanted to go over that one.
Garlic bombs for the vampires.
Yeah. He's the one who says he spent 90,000 gold on poisons and stuff. I'm like, dear God, he really likes his poison.
Oh yeah, he was doing the poison on the dagger trick.
Yeah. And it's fun times. I know. Is it pretty soon? We're coming up another one that they talk about this too. I'm trying to remember which one's which, but yeah. Anyways, that is a fun little article from our friend James Ward.
I didn't think it was fun at all, and I'm hoping it doesn't become a trend, because I was like, oh, yeah, no one cares about your home game. No one does. That becomes abundantly apparent as soon as you meet anyone else who's played D&D, and they start talking about their other characters at the table, and it's like no one cares. No one cares.
There is quite a few articles, and I don't know if it's in this one or if one's coming up, that there's a lot of talking about their home games, and I usually skip them. Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right, Mr. Fight.
Do you have any
I'm
more?
tapped. No, I'm good. I didn't even see an ad that rustled my jimmies.
All right, I do. I mean, I just touched on it really. Because they're really ramping up for the release of D&D's Gods now. So this will be the second issue where they've talked about a different mythos. This one being the Japanese mythos.
Yeah, I was going to say that was my last one too.
When I was looking at this, I was like, holy smokes, there is a lot of demons in this thing.
And just monsters and stuff. It really is like the beginnings of Oriental adventures. Like you can see what's coming.
I did break out my D's and MI's book, and I was kind of comparing, and they do scale it back like tenfold.
There's a lot of stuff here,
in the Japanese mythos, but there is a ton of stuff here.
It does go on for like 5 pages.
Yeah, it's quite a lot, and it's not just doing like the pantheon of the gods, of the deities, but it's like Rob said, it's got a lot more, like, so that there must have been a bit of a yearning for the Asian experience.
It's the 70s, though. There was a lot of those karate movies and samurai movies were very big, but then was Zatoichi was very big in the 70s.
Oh yeah, kung fu movies were huge.
So I mean, like they even go into different kinds of onis. It's ridiculous.
There's like kappas and stuff. Like there's all the creatures. It is definitely the stuff you would find in Oriental adventures.
But it doesn't come out till
nowadays. But hey,
yeah, but that didn't come out till second edition anyway. So
yes, it's quite a ways later.
So that was my third.
There was something else I was gonna mention. Oh, we never. It was right here. That's why I thought of it. We never. None of us decided to comment on all the songs that they have in the middle of this for April Fools.
Oh, I didn't even look at.
By Jack's face, I could tell he really enjoyed them.
Well, it says sung to the tune of, and it is some of the folksiest homespun names of songs I've never heard of that were probably popular at the time. So I was like, okay, immediately it's not going to resonate with me because I can't get the gist. Maybe there's a pun or something. I don't know exactly, but it was a lot of
most of the songs I didn't recognize either. Yep.
Yeah, like if anyone out there is right now saying, I know the tune to "Rosning My Bow," and yes, it does. It makes that a hilarious interpretation, that song.
By the light of the silvery moon.
Anyways, when they try to be funny, it usually fails. I think that's what we can decide on the average human. They do have some funny pictures, though. There's like a Genghis Khan, I don't know, throwing blocks at people.
It's Attila Hun. Because if you look at the lyric just above it, it says took lessons from Attila Hun.
Oh.
There you go. That's and like Jack said, there wasn't any ads really that were new or interesting.
Yeah, I did not see a lot of ads. I will say that I did see something. Oh yeah, here it is. On the Spring Revel on page 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
In the spring, a young man's thoughts turn to D&D and snits. Snits still make an appearance.
Yeah, they want to make that a thing. They love their snits.
And then they rhymed African campaign and fits. So, yeah.
TSR, those witty guys. Pretty cheap, though. $3 for both days or $2 per day.
It's true. And then you get there, it's April Fools, no registers. Because it says no pre-registration. There's really no con, April Fools.
Yeah, you get there, it's just an empty field, a bunch of people wandering around. Oh.
Got you. All right, well, I think that wraps it up for episode 13. The Not Conan cover episode. And any last words, my friends?
Nope.
Stay frosty.
See you next
like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Check us out on our Facebook pages, blah, blah, blah. Push all the buttons. Push them all. Boop, 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 boop. And for the Dragon's Tomb, I'll be your host, Chopper.
And I'm Jack.
I'm Rob.
We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.